10 reasons, so I scrapped that idea. Let me tell you a story. We all know that there's $400 million being dangled in front of the mayor and the governor's faces for education in the state. Last week I had the privilege of attending a small dinner party that included a state senator from the state of Colorado who actually has worked with the Obama administration in crafting the race to the top funding. I asked him quite frankly, what are the chances that Milwaukee's going to get that money? His answer to me was, slim to no chance in hell. So people are looking at this money thinking we have to do this because it needs $400 million for Milwaukee Public Schools. Even if we were in the running, it wouldn't come to Milwaukee. It would go through the state of Wisconsin to the Joint Finance Committee, which means by the time that money's divided, we're going to get a pittance of it. So that really is my number one reason not to support this. Number two, as many of you know, I spent 8 years on the Milwaukee School Board. That was my penance for everything I did wrong as a child. Why would anybody want to serve on that school board is beyond me. But they are probably some of the hardest workers in this city. They're closest to the children, they're closest to the families. Now, both the mayor and the Milwaukee Journal has said, who better than take over the school districts, but the mayor, because he's got direct connections to the people in the city. Mr. Mayor, I know you're in the building, and I respect you. I've always supported you, but I disagree with you on this.
Right.
When we elect our school board members, we're electing our neighbors, we're electing people right from our communities. We know how to reach them. When I was on the school board, I used to get calls at 7 o'clock in the morning from frustrated parents. I can't imagine an appointed person taking that mother's call at 7 o'clock in the morning and spending the next hour trying to figure out how to work through it. So that's the number two reason. Number three is, they are slapping us in the face. We are being treated like the stupid stepdaughter or something, stepsister. They're telling us we don't know how to vote.
Right.
We don't know how to vote. They did that to us with the referendum that passed in this county. Now they're telling us we are not capable of our elected officials. I beg to differ with that. I don't always agree with some of my elected officials. I don't always agree with my school board members. Bottom line is we elected them, and we need to support them because we elected them. And if you don't like them, you go to the polls, and that's when you make changes. You don't just take away the power. Next, and I'll be done after this. The next reason is, I asked the mayor, what about the teacher contract? You get rid of the board, what happens to the teacher contract? Couldn't tell me that. Now, I don't always agree with what's in the teacher contract, but again, bottom line, that contract's in place, it needs to be honored. They're trying to do an in-run around the union. The union's always going to be here. The place to make changes in that contract is at the bargaining table, not taking away their power. So I just want to thank you all for coming out here today and taking part in this great democracy we have. So keep up the good work, and I'll be there tomorrow night too. And I'm in there for the long haul with you. Polly and I both sit on, she chairs, I vice chair education reform. If there is a bill drafted, it'll die. If it doesn't die, I will amend the bill to include every school district in this state.